Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here. Hold on to your hold slots because we're talking The Hateful Eight. Alright, so before I get into it, obviously I gotta talk about Quentin Tarantino. He's one of the most recognizable directors, possibly of all time, but definitely if you say Quentin Tarantino to basically anybody, everyone knows who you're talking about. So, I'm not his biggest fan ever. I don't hate him. Actually, my worst reaction ever to one of his movies is I was a little bored during Death Proof. I think that's the worst I've ever really said about him. My favorite movie of all time that he's done is Inglourious Bastards, and he's fine. I like all his stuff. He does a good job. I don't run out and see everything he does, though, for a very specific reason, which I'll get into later. I tend to prefer to see his stuff at my house rather than in the theater. Just kind of a personal preference. Like I said, I'll get into that in just a minute. So, let's talk about The Hateful Eight. So, before I get in, I haven't seen The Hateful 1 to Hateful 7, so I don't know where those movies are. Okay, that's no joke. Moving on. Alright, so the overall plot is a couple of bounty hunters need to stop in at this cabin slash haberdashery kind of general store place to wait out a blizzard with some other colorful characters. And that's basically the setup for the movie. I don't want to give too much away, talk some more in spoilers, but that's the basic plot of the movie. It's a lot smaller movie that Tarantino's done of recently, and I like that. It's good. So I guess the best way to review this movie is to talk about the Hateful Eight individually. So let's start with Samuel L. Jackson, of course. You know, he's a mainstay of all Tarantino films, and he's even got his own style of acting when he's in a Tarantino movie, and he does that again in this. And it's good. I like it. He does a good job. He's the closest that this movie has to a single, protagonist. But yeah, he does a great job. He plays a bounty hunter, and he's got some great moments, some good stories, some really good stories. And so, you know, he does his thing. He's on par with everything else he's done in a Tarantino movie, which is great. He does a good job. He's fine. So, and then we got Kurt Russell, which I think Stan Smith summed it up best with
Kurt Russell. He's been working steadily for 46 years. No lull. No lull!
Yeah, he's great in this. He's always been great. He's great in everything. He really owns up to what he's doing. He's a great guy. He's a great actor. He does a good job in this. Solid, Kurt Russell. Moving on. The weak link of this, I believe, there's one other guy, but beyond that is Michael Madsen. Does somebody know how to wake Michael Madsen up? He's always half asleep. Someone give him a goddamn Red Bull. Wake up, Michael Madsen. Literally wake up. His character serves the plot what it needs to be. But he's Michael Madsen. There's only so much you can do with Michael Madsen. Then we got the only woman mainly in the movie. There's some other kind of peppered in, but the only main woman, Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's one of those actresses I've seen pictures of. I've heard her name a lot. I've heard people talk about her. I've never seen her in anything. What is she in? Well, she's in The Hateful Eight, but I don't know. But she does a great job. She kind of almost serves as the comic relief in this. She's the woman that Kurt Russell's bounty hunter is bringing in for the bounty. And she has this moment where you're watching a Tarantino film because you're watching one when a woman gets elbowed in the face and the entire crowd laughs. That's when you're in a Tarantino movie. But yeah, she does a great job. Keeps it interesting. You can tell there's a lot of depth to her character. It's really well done. It's just solid. Another really good character was Tim Roth's. He plays kind of this British. I guess he was a hangman, and he's just kind of really up and peppy and ready to do stuff, and he was really fun. I really liked him. It's this great mix of Samuel doing his thing, Kurt Russell and Tim Roth kind of bubbling around, sprinkle some Jennifer Jason Leigh on top, laying on top of a sleeping Michael Madsen. So, and then there's three others that I really don't know from a lot of stuff. The first is this guy who's in like a bunch of random movies, but you never know his name. I looked it up. It's Walter Goggins, I guess. If you've seen him in anything else he's done the same in this, I guess. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. He does the same thing. We got Bruce Dern, who I can't help but ever just think whenever I see him, oh, that's the crazy neighbor from The Burbs. I grew up watching The Burbs. He's in The Burbs in an insane role. He's always going to be in that. He does fine, I guess. He's fine. And then the final one is Demon Burridge. This guy? He kind of mumbles, doesn't do a lot. His character is integral to the plot, but he doesn't do anything. He just kind of is there. I guess they wanted to round out the 8, because he probably could have filled his role somewhere else in there. But yeah, he exists. He's fine, I guess. Whatever. So there's one other actor who makes an appearance. And I don't think it's a spoiler, but I want to keep it in here anyways, because I want everyone to see this. And it's not Tarantino's fault, but in this movie, finally my cup runneth over with this actor's bullshit, and it's time to take action. And it's even driven me to quote Mean Girls. But stop trying to make Channing Tatum happen! He's not gonna happen! He's terrible! I hate Channing Tatum! Damn it! Look at him! There's nothing going on behind the eyes. He's totally a blank slate. Like, if you asked him his favorite color, he'd probably say potato. He's so dumb. And everyone's like, oh, he's good in the Jump Street movies because he plays an idiot. Because he is an idiot. Look at him. Look at him. I don't think he even knows he's in movies. I think he's got wranglers that kind of put him on set and then put peanut butter on the roof of his mouth to simulate talking. He's Mr. Ed. Why do women find this attractive? I don't understand it. Stop putting Channing Tatum in movies. Stop it. Right now. He's actually officially going to be the villain of this show. Stop Channing Tatum. Hashtag stop the Tatum. Damn it. And all these girls are just like, oh, he's cute to look at. No. Not an excuse. Because you know what? Every girl gave every guy shit about Megan Fox. Oh, she's just tits and ass. There's nothing to her. Well, yeah, but yeah. You can't have that double standard. I will not let this continue unless I get a letter from the president of women, who I think is Amy Schumer right now, apologizing for every girl bitching about Megan Fox. You're not allowed to just go, oh, he's cute, until I get that letter. No. It's not, no. Just no. He's just so terrible. I hate you, Channing Tatum. God damn it. Hashtag stop the Tatum. And I'm sure some of you are like, oh, hey, Matt, why are you so mad about this? He's just Channing Tatum, What's so bad? Well, first I'm going to say, hey, that's a cool deep voice. Second, I'm not a man without answers. And here's my problem. Ladies, specifically ladies, but everybody, let me introduce you to Arrow's Stephen Amell. Actually, hold on a second. There. Arrow's Stephen Amell. The look of him age-wise, they could play the same roles, at least age-wise, right? He's more attractive than Channing Tatum. He's smarter than Channing Tatum. And he doesn't have goddamn lifeless eyes! So every job that Channing Tatum has, Stephen Amell could be doing, and doing it way better. Why are we still putting up with this when we could have this? And, I can understand women's, weird guys that they're into. I get Robert Downey Jr. I can even understand Ryan Gosling. I could probably somehow wrap my mind around the 90s obsession with Jeff Goldblum. I don't understand Channing Tatum. He's so bad. Stop the Tatum. Stop him. He's gonna destroy us all. So, there are some negatives to this movie outside of Channing Tatum that I want to discuss just for a second. Not too many crazy things. Tarantino has this thing in all his movies. He's going to give you great action and an interesting story, but you're going to have to sit through a lot of talking to get there. Every movie of his has this, and this is no exception. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think everyone is into it, and that's why I don't like to see his movies in theaters. And it happened in this time when I saw it in theaters. Around the 2-hour mark, through all this talking, everyone starts to kind of start shifting around, making noise, chatting. You're starting to lose people. I can still be in it, but now everyone's starting to kind of, lose their attention span. And, it's a 3-hour movie. You got another hour of these people And so that's why I prefer to see Tarantino at home rather than the theater. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that stands out in this movie. All the talking. More talking. And he does it well, and they're interesting, but like I said, not everyone gets it, and so it starts becoming a distraction. The other problem is Zoe Bell is in all his movies. Biggest role, I think she was Death Proof. And I love her. She just lights up her room. She's so bright, and I love her Kiwi accent. But she's not really in it for very long. That's a bummer. Is that? I think it's all my negatives, really. Spoilers! Putting up the signs. So I don't want to get into too many crazy spoilers. It's kind of interesting how this plot develops. It kind of changes the style of movie as it goes. It's kind of more of a straight Western at first, and then it turns into a murder mystery, and then just this all-out massacre. It's this, evolving, developing storyline. It's really weird and interesting, and I really liked that. It kind of kept you on your toes. You weren't sure, because I was and it's kind of given away in trailers too, but it's kind of this is a murder mystery in the Old West. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's, who did this? Who did that? And you're just but then it just shifts, and you're like, oh, that's not what we're going for at all. But yeah, it's great, and yeah. The other weird part I noticed is this movie is divided into chapters, not too unusual for Tarantino, but there's a climax, basically, and then 2 more chapters after. You're like, oh, when that happens, you're like, oh, that's the end of the movie. Cool, that didn't feel like 3 hours at all. And then you're like, oh, there's still more to go. There's still another 45 minutes to an hour left. Oh. And that was kind of weird. There's climax, and then a prequel to the entire movie, and then post-credit, I don't know. Just the ending, I guess. And so that was kind of weird, but awesome. It really felt good in there, and it worked out really good. Well, it's awesome. I think that's all spoilers I really want to get into. I know I'm not getting into a lot of specifics in this movie, but what are you going to do? So, moving on to my wrap-up. This is a Tarantino movie. If you like Tarantino movies, you're going to like this movie. If you don't, this isn't going to change anybody's mind. It is a smaller movie than what he's done, and some of his tropes are missing. There's not a lot of 70s music. I don't think any. It really felt more accurate to the time period. And even the way people acted was more accurate to the time period. I think that's a response to Django, where, a lot of people they didn't talk like that. And so I think he kind of fixed that a little in this. But, he still got his gore. That's everywhere. You got the N-word all over the place. Of course, cussing all over the place. So it's a Tarantino movie. So again, if you like Tarantino movies, this is on par. I don't think it's better than Inglourious Bastards. There's really no breakout role in this one like a Christoph Waltz did. It's, more standard. But it's good. It doesn't feel like the 3-hour running time, which for me is a sign of quality. If you sat through a 3 to 4 hour movie and it didn't feel like a 3 to 4 hour movie, it did a good job. This one's a great example of that. A bad example would be all the Hobbit movies, where it's oh, this is still going. So, take that. It didn't feel like the 3-hour running time. It's interesting, kept it up. It's a really solid movie. It's my first movie, 2016, so I've got a lot to, put it against. But, You know what? I gotta give some credit too. This was put out on my Twitter on which movie people wanted me to see, and you know what? Every time I've done that, you guys have given me a great suggestion. So thanks a lot. I don't know when I'll do that again, but you know what? You guys are driving me in the right direction, and it's awesome. So so on the Tarantino scale, I'll rate this movie on a scale between a random 70s song a few people have heard to a long, awkward shot of a woman's foot. I would rate this movie a motherfucker. Yeah. So, tune in again. I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard, and until next time, hold on to your hold slots.